council meeting is November 17th at 6:15 PM. We'll call the roll, please.
Puffenberger.
Yes.
Zis.
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Fiskus.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt.
Yes.
Lineback.
Yes.
Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start Committee of the Whole, I would like to take just a moment here to recognize the girls' cross-country team from Maumee High School and the achievements that they've had this year. And they're represented in the front row here with their coach, Jenny Dugan. So, Jenny, if you would come forward, I'll read this proclamation at the mic to you. Whereas this Maumee High School girls cross-country team has
Yeah, I saw that.
of resilience and excellence by meeting a demanding season schedule of a state-ranked opponent, where they achieved a commendable 6-32 record and consistently placed in the top half of all regular season meets. And whereas the Maumee High School girls cross-country team captured both the NBC Jamboree Championship and the NBC League Championship, the latter for the first time since 1982, marking a historic milestone in program history. And whereas the team placed third at the Division II district meet, with one athlete finishing as district champion, and the team advanced to Division II regional meet, where it was tough, and an athlete earned the title of regional champion. And and at the Division II state meet, Keegan Kennedy represented the team with distinction finishing fourth overall. Earning first team all honors, a first in school history, and breaking the school record with a time of 17:52.92. And now, therefore, resolved by James and Town, we hereby proclaim November 17th as Maumee High School Girls Cross Country Day in the city of Maumee, and we recognize and commend Maumee High School Girls Cross Country Team for historic accomplishments. Thank you.
Get it on the background.
All right, guys.
Smile like you're happy.
Thank you.
They're smart people.
Actually, the girls' cross-country record was held by Brooke Tullis, which is Dave's daughter, who was the police chief here for many years after me. And Brooke went on to win the MAC twice and excel at University of Toledo under full scholarship, and continues to run today. You may see her on the trail on the big sidewalk. If she's pushing a stroller with 2 kids in it, that's Brooke, and she still runs. But Tegan broke that record, and that's quite an accomplishment. And that's pretty fast for how she ran that 5K, a little under 17 minutes. It's pretty quick. Yeah. So we'll move to Committee of the Whole. President Barrow.
Thank you, Mayor McDonald. Council has your agenda in front of you. Any concerns or questions? Margot.
Hi, thank you. So I would like to have a conversation about the recent addition. I'm wondering, and you know, we do have some directors in the room too, and so I'd appreciate input. $5,000 seems a bit low. It seems like in past conversations, we've talked about allowing for this overall kind of allowance to happen without council's approval, to be needed for things to be done in a timely fashion when it comes to certain things. So I guess I'm wondering why, you know, why the $5,000 mark? And then I'd like input from, you know, some of the directors on whether that $5,000 mark makes sense. I guess, why did we choose $5,000? How often does that amount come up? Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
it's just secondary approval. They still have the ability to spend up to $75,000, but anything in excess of $5,000, they would need secondary authorization from the mayor or city administrator.
Right, and
So it's
before,
kind of like a second level of control, I guess. So
Yeah.
Somebody presented it to me, so.
Chelsea?
Would you mind reading that addition, that, because we got that today, right? This addition to this
Right.
ordinance?
Yeah, it just says.
This is the third reading. Go ahead, please,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, the administrator or mayor shall review and approve any such contracts, leases, licenses, and/or purchases in amounts in excess of $5,000.
That's not what I had. The last version I had, the original sentence, first sentence included mayor, administrator, and public service director signing for $75,000. Now, maybe I have the wrong one. And then it had a second sentence that said, public service director can sign up to $5,000, but needs additional approval. Did I not get the right one? I mean, I know you can't answer that,
No.
but that's the one I received today.
Yeah, everything else was the same. That was the only addition was, you know, the administrator, city administrator, department directors, or mayor, when the city administrator is unavailable, should be authorized to execute and enter into contracts, leases, licenses, purchase agreements involving the furnishing, equipments, et cetera, as deemed necessary in amounts up to $75,000, or the amount set forth in 10304 that might be amended hereafter, whichever is greater. And then the only addition to that was the administrator or mayor shall review and approve any such contracts, leases, licenses, or purchases in amounts in excess of $5,000.
So it sounds like maybe there's two issues here. There's whether it should be the 5,000, but the first issue that I was having problems with in terms of clarity is that the first sentence says that the public service director can sign up to approve up to 75,000.
Correct.
And then the second sentence says the mayor and the administrator have to approve anything over 5. So it sounds like that the change is saying that the public service director can only approve up to 5,000.
No, any of the directors
Oh, okay, any of the directors.
or the administrator, it's like a secondary approval, so.
So would it be simpler to, in that very first sentence, not mention public, or directors, not mention directors at all? Say that mayor and administrator can sign up to $75,000, and then directors can only approve whatever number we talk about, and then a mayor and administrator would have to approve above that. I was confused. The clarity was not good for me.
Well, I think part of the change was Department of Directors was added in because we split off the public safety, you know, we're splitting those job duties off, public service director. So we just wanted to make sure that that person had some authority to make expenditures relative to needs for the city because they're in charge of a lot of the city works, roads, et cetera.
Chelsea?
So that was part of my confusion. I remember attending the finance meetings where it was discussed that it would be important to have the directors to have some autonomy in their spending because the previous legislation just said the city administrator or mayor could approve these contracts. So through much discussion and several meetings, it was talked about giving the directors some of this autonomy as well. They can't spend anything outside of what is already budgeted or appropriated. So I'm guessing my main question is, knowing that this new sentence is being added where the city administrator or mayor must review and approve their contracts, leases, and purchases, is that going to prevent a by chance a service director or the finance director or safety director, if that ever happens. We're talking about some oversight, which I always love more oversight, but it seems like we're going backwards in giving autonomy to the directors. So my question is, it says it has to be reviewed and approved. Does that mean that the city administrator and mayor can reject the purchases that have already been appropriated as a part of their budget, but less than the $75,000?
I mean, it's just mainly intended to be a secondary approval process, just to,
So they can reject it?
I guess they could reject it, but unlikely if it's a project that needs to be done.
Well, I guess then why did we add the directors in that first part to begin with? Previously, it was only the city administrator and mayor who could sign those contracts, leases, purchase agreements, what have you. We added the directors so they would have that autonomy to run their departments within their appropriations, and now we are constricting them again. I love oversight, you know me, I like that. I just am very confused about this addition.
Well, that's my confusion too, and especially with $5,000, like street repairs is mentioned. $5,000 is like a drop in a bucket when it comes to street repairs. So like that number was kind of a red flag to me, like, well, why do we even do this at all if $5,000 is the amount?
Well,
Like I said, it's just a suggested change that somebody recommended. It doesn't have to be in there, but like I said, the other change that was made before was directors, because the city administrator position covered most of the director positions before.
and one other nuance here, when something is budgeted, like you say, yeah, we try to do our budget and stay within the budget. When things come up, it would give, a director could spend that up to $75,000, and they could do it 2 or 3 times a year because it was needed. Then at the end of the year, we can see how upside down we may be in our budget because it was unnecessary and it was an emergency, and sometimes you just have to do what you don't have to spend with. So the second tier of accountability makes us all aware of what's going on, what's being spent.
And I totally get that. And again, I always love more oversight. I guess my question is, what was the point of adding the directors in the first place for this $75,000 limit within appropriations and with what is already budgeted? I guess I still don't quite understand if we've given these directors these positions and this autonomy to make sure that they are doing the correct things for their department. Why are we then constraining them further after we've just spent, 6 weeks, 8 weeks discussing this to death? And now it seems like, just kidding. So that's my real main question, is why is this addition being added at now? And our third reading, after it's gone through, I think, 4 finance committee meetings, 2 council meetings at least? I don't understand why we're putting this constraint on now.
I can't be any more clearer than it's a second level of accountability of seeing what's being spent.
But so this is pretty blunt, I suppose, but so it was okay for the public service director to okay anything that was that amount when they were also the city administrator, but now that they've been pulled off and are a separate director, it's not okay? That's kind of how I see it. It's like, so now we have to have, and is that how we want it? Like, is this all kind of like guiding our org chart? Because I feel like that's like an org chart thing too. It's like, well, where the directors fall decides whether, how much say they get in spending the money or not. Because I agree with everything Chelsea just said. We spent a lot of time talking about this, and adding directors was a big discussion. And once again, the $5,000, it's like, well, why did we even add it? It'd be one thing if you came in at like 25,000 or something, but 5,000, you might as well just take out directors.
Like I said, the amounts, whatever amount you want to put in there, but part of it is just a secondary level of control, as indicated by Gabe.
Okay, so I'd like to discuss another amount. What's another amount that makes sense if this sentence stays in? Because otherwise, I'd like to make a motion to remove it.
Yeah. Let's ask the public service director, can we, what he thinks is appropriate to run your department?
The 75,000 is the limit for public bidding. I think that's always been, it was 50,000, then it changed to 75,000. I think 5,000 is very low. I don't know that there's much that I would be able to purchase at that level without getting another approval. And I guess to Gabe's point, watching the budget, we all go over the budget every year and it gets presented to council. So I guess at that time, that would be the time to kind of watch over, wherever those amounts are being spent. So I don't know what that number should be, but I mean, I was perfectly comfortable with the 75,000. I clearly don't have any intentions of spending money outside of the realm of that for any reason, but that's,
Well, my question or point was, all these projects pop up and there's, you dig up the street and all of a sudden there's something else. I just thought that second level of accountability is like, hey, just so we know, and of course, it's going to get approved, and it has to be done, and you're there with the tools and the men, that it's the city financially recognizes that, and it's recorded, and having the administrator or the mayor look at that.
But if that second level of approval or oversight is just going to be a rubber stamp, it doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. I'd be inclined to say this is kind of what happens when we introduce some legislation the day of. Given that there have been all these finance committee meetings, I'd like to see it dropped.
Just one comment. This was put in committee and presented to this council in final form from committee with a recommendation, and then it went into an open debate the last couple of weeks. And I'm very confused about, the committee made a decision and voted to give this council an ordinance, and now it's just turned into this back and forth about this is what I want, this, I don't understand this, and I don't understand that. I was under the impression that it came to council and it had been reviewed and discussed openly in committee, and it should have came to council in its final form, and yet here we are, still talking about the contents of it.
Withdraw that.
And if it needs to go back to committee and hash it back out, then maybe that's what it needs to do. But we had that input from our directors about what it should look like. I was in on a couple of those meetings. So either present something to council that's going to be approved and recommended from the committee, or take it back, or do something with it. But
Chelsea?
it just seems to be going back and forth.
Chelsea?
I agree with the mayor, is that this is something new that was brought on and added to this ordinance today. I would make a motion that we withdraw that new sentence, maybe take that to committee, but pass it as it was originally talked about in committee.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we can do that when we get to that 10,
Do we need to call the roll on that?
9D.
Yep, we'll call the roll on that motion. First of all, any further discussion on that? We'll call the roll.
Knopfenberger,
Yes.
Zis,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Fiskus,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Lineback.
Yes.
Thank you. Still committee of the whole?
Yep, still committee of the whole.
But I would like to thank you for the rewording of that one sentence, because I feel like it's a little less confusing. Because, I feel like those are some of the kind of minor things through the 3 readings we can adjust. So thank you.
Councilman Lineback?
Item 9G, about the Ferguson Waterworks, is that's still on the agenda, right? I was just wondering, it's been explained to me, why we need to, budget and approve something to replace the meters and given their lifetime. But I was just, I thought it would be helpful to explain to the people who are here, our public service director, our finance director, about why it's sole source. I'm not disputing that it needs to be sole source, but that means that there's something unique about the technology that they offer or the timeliness or something. It's a big number. Just feel comfortable why it's sole source.
Yeah, so our assistant water superintendent has done a really good job of doing his homework on this one, I guess, to say a little bit about it. But the water meters, the company that we currently use, there's fear that something could quickly happen with them as far as losing coverage that we currently have. And this company would work the best with the equipment that we have in place already and be able to utilize some of the same infrastructure as far as the reading technology. So to go and look for another company to replace the meters would take at least another month, if not longer, based on the amount of time it took Dustin to put this together for this particular company. So I think that, you know, given that information, it didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to keep pushing this further and further down the road when we don't know what's going to happen with our current meter company.
Matt, about when did this process start?
I believe,
March.
yeah,
25.
March.
Spring, yep.
Okay. How will this affect our sewer funding? I want to
No.
be clear on that.
It- It's actually, I apologize, yes, it's 50, it'll be split 50/50, and we'll have to seek bond funding for it.
Bond funding for the meter
Mm-hmm.
program, okay. That's the only questions I had. Anybody else have any questions for Matt? Thank you. Any other questions from the agenda?
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was talking a little bit about this with the law director before the meeting started, but I did not get to like thoroughly go through the new PowerPoint that was sent today, right before the meeting. So I just wondered if he could go through it with us all, kind of like the adjustments. It seems to me there are adjustments that have been made since our committee of the whole meeting, which thank you once again. It's great to see. I just thought it would be nice to kind of be able to go over all of those to make sure I've got them all, because I did not get a chance. Yeah.
So as to the program itself for income qualifications and the reimbursement, it's indicated the change would be in all cases where property owners have signed a commitment form and had an inspection completed. The time to complete interior work will be extended until April 8th, 2026, or 1 year from their inspection date, whichever is later. So for people that haven't had an inspection, we're waiting on the consent decree, they're going to have until April 8th, 2026, if their year's passed or is almost passed or whatever, they'll have that final date. If they've had a recent inspection, then it would be 1 year from their inspection date still.
And you mentioned something in here, wanting to go over that wording, or?
Right, it does indicate in here, one, that city council will establish a 3-member appeal board to address any decisions of the capital project manager related to the program. And also the program itself, the guidelines show that the program only provides funds for the redirection of footer drains, redirection or correction of downspouts or other drains, and the installation, correction, or redirection of sump pumps. Funds for repairs to lateral sewer lines is limited to those required to allow relining to be completed. So it's very similar, but Matt Miles suggested just some minor changes to that language, but that's how that would read.
Okay.
And those are the only things that were changed.
Thank you.
Councilor Weinbach?
So on the same topic, maybe this is just a little bit of a recap, but eligibility requirements haven't changed, correct? It's still, that's the case. The work that's going to be covered, sounds like it was just clarified, but Matt had put something out previously that kind of had listed a pro forma, what's covered and what's not covered. So that really hasn't changed. That's just been clarified. And so the only item that still seems like it's going to be up for discussion once it comes to a third reading is the financing issue. Is that correct? So tonight's second reading, we're approving the current financing, which is based on this income to debt or debt to income ratio or whatever it was. But that's subject to potential change based on what committee does. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Just want to be clear on that when it comes to the vote for a second reading. Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
And you talk about finances, the item that we have for our next finance committee meeting, right?
Yes,
Talking
yep.
about the reimbursement directly
Yes,
to
exactly.
the,
How we decide which path you go down on
Right.
that two-legged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chelsea?
And just to piggyback off that, this is a second reading. We're not approving this at this
Correct.
point.
Correct.
Okay, so there still might be changes after the next finance committee meeting that discusses how those things work in general.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anything else? This concludes Committee of the Whole. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll move to citizen comments. I think we have a handful here. Gary? Trokuya? Yeah, I can't pronounce your last name. Is it Trokuya? Truckee? Thank you. Oh, that's an N. Okay, thank you. Welcome, Gary.
On the same subject of the sewer issue we have, I signed the commitment letter because I was told in reading of it that it had to be signed by the end of this year in order to have the money available. Now, I don't know if that's reimburse me for it, or where I'd have to pay first whatever repairs has to be made. Also, I didn't see anywhere where it's approved that there's money available for that, and whether that money is available depending on your income level. So that's what I wanted to get straight from you guys, because I didn't see where the city of Maumee had to sign anything
So,
about it.
and to help answer your question, so yes, there's money available. If you sign the commitment letter, that's twofold. It's not only you're agreeing to take care of the problems after your inspection as to what has been laid out is the problem, but it also allows the city on your property to do relining of the lateral. So it's twofold. That commitment letter it satisfies both issues. So if you do need remediation, you get 2 estimates, and you submit those to the city, and then according to your adjusted median income, you can apply for reimbursement of the money.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. If you have any questions afterwards, we'll be around. Okay. Lynn Cox? Hi. You could just state your community, where you live, and that'd be great.
Hi, I am Lynn Cox, and I live in Monclova Township, but I'm just a few steps from Maumee, so I'm Maumee Light.
Welcome.
Thank you. I am here to request that a moratorium be placed on any data centers or solar installations until more study is done. Sorry. Specifically on data centers, they can consume thousands of acres of land with multiple buildings, power plants, overhead lines, and external generators. They're typically looking for special tax incentives such as pilot programs, which is an agreement, which is a payment in lieu of taxes. This agreement agreement of this kind is currently in discussion between Maumee and Monclova Township. We need to understand the long-term environmental, infrastructure, and quality of life issues. There are also many questions which need to be answered about utility usage, infrastructure, financial and tax impacts, and decommissioning, and also further land impacts, since the expected obsolescence of a data center is 11.3 years. I have a list of 40 questions which I'd like to give to you, which would need to be carefully considered by any governing body. Because of the complexity of this issue and the massive community impact, I respectfully request that Maumee place a moratorium while the issue is further studied. In addition to the 40 questions I have 2 pages of reference sources for your use. So I appreciate you listening, and I hope you'll agree that this issue is just too big to ignore. May I give you my documents?
Sure, you can come forward and
Thank-
give them to the municipal clerk here. Yep,
Thank you, Lynn.
yep. Just thank you for your comments. Anything further? Okay. John? John Scott? Hi, John.
Good afternoon, or good evening. John, Greenfield Drive. Kind of going off the data center, I just had a curious question. Has anybody on council or anybody in the city met with the Lucas County Economic Development Team? Mike Beasley, Mike Herman, any of those guys? Or Matt Herman?
Hireman.
Just a curious question, as there's 90 acres of Maumee that's sitting out there by fallen timbers, and all the talk about data centers that's been going around. I think it'd just be something to have transparent with the citizens at this point, rather now than later. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sherry, Sean?
Okay, Ohio's Public Records Act, Revised Code 149.43, gives any person access to government records. The act established the legal duties of a public office, the rights and obligations of a requester, and what a requester can do if an office violates the act. If the office denies a request, it must do two things. Explain to the requester how it organizes and maintains its records. An office should try to provide information that allows the requester to revise the request in a way that allows the office to respond. Give the requester an opportunity to revise and resubmit the request. On October 24, 2025, I sent a records request to Casey in accordance with ORC 149.43. I received a receipt of my email request on 10/24/2025, acknowledging it was received. On November 3rd, 2025, I received an email from Casey stating my request is overbroad and being denied. Also include legal authority of denial. However, Casey omitted to explain to me as the requester on how it organizes and maintains its records. Casey should have provided that information that would allow me to revise that request in a way that the office would respond in a timely manner. Even though I resent the email requesting only the year 2024 as opposed from 2020 through 2025, very clear in my request, I would like copies, preferably by email, all contractor bills, work orders, and change orders pertaining to concrete, cement, and any other masonry city jobs during the previous year, 2024, January through December. I would like a list of contractors in cement, concrete, or masonry that did business with the city in 2024. As of today, I have not received my records request. Why? To clarify, on Wednesday, after that meeting we had here, I approached Alan. I questioned why my request was held up. I never stated that I sent you the request, Alan. What I said was that I know you're the reason for my request to be held up, due to the legal verbiage in the email sent back to me from Casey. I found it very odd how I received an email from you on Thursday, November 13th, the following day at 1:48 in the afternoon, after you and Gina left together earlier that morning. Was that for a meeting with Birch to discuss how I'm going to get my records request or denied? I want the records.
All right, we'll move on to adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Second. Thank you very much. We'll call the roll.
Muffetberger,
Yes.
Zis,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Fiskus.
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Lineback,
Yes.
Motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of November 3rd.
Thank you, Mayor. I will move to approve the regular meeting minutes of November 3rd, 2025.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We'll call the roll, please.
Muffetberger,
Yes.
Zis,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Fiskus.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt,
I did not attend the meeting on the 3rd. I had an excused absence, so I will abstain, or Alan, should I ask permission to not vote?
You can just abstain.
Okay, I'll abstain.
Linebach.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll look at petition and communication, so I need a motion to accept the PNC and place on file.
I'll make a motion to approve petitions and communications placed on file.
Yeah, second that motion.
Thank you. The Finance Committee meeting on 11/5, anything to add to that?
No, that was the meeting that we had the discussion on the meters.
Okay. Public information meeting on 11/10, anything to add on that?
We just discussed the website, which is on the agenda tonight, and also Matt went over the changes for the sewer project that will be put on the website when the ordinance passes.
Okay, excellent. And Committee of the Whole minutes from 11/12.
Yeah, it was a good discussion, a great committee of the whole. Really appreciate all the residents that came. Confusion out there, understand that. We're clarifying that, and it'll be a better product when we get to it. The last reading, rather, will be more clear. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll call the roll on petitions and communications.
Puffenberger.
Yes.
Zis.
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Fiskus.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt.
Yes.
Linebach.
Yes.
Thank you. That has passed. We'll move to consent calendar. We'll do a motion to approve in a second, and we'll discuss these.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve all consent calendar items.
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. City Council has examined each item on the consent calendar, proposed legislation, and other items set forth in this agenda, and involves the expenditure of public funds, use of public property, or use of City of Maumee resources, and have determined and find that any action or expenditure set forth in those items would be for and serve a public purpose as defined by Ohio law. That the expenditure, waiver of fees, and/or use of public property would be for the general good of the residents and taxpayers of the City of Maumee and the general public, and promotes the public health and general welfare of the citizens of the City of Maumee and the general public. So under consent, we have B, which is a recommendation from the Public Service Director, basically closing a lot of the uptown streets for the Holiday Hustle 5K and the Holiday Light Parade on Sunday, November 30th. And the race is at 5, and the parade is at 6, I believe, 6:15, yeah. Recommendation from the Law Director under C, authorizing the clerk to approve a new liquor license for Sunrise Skillet without requesting a hearing. And they are in Parkway Plaza, correct?
That's correct.
D is a recommendation from the Law Director, second reading of ordinance 35-2025, an ordinance adopting an updated Maumee sanitary sewer overflow remediation policy and program. And we briefly discussed that in Committee of the Whole. Under E, a recommendation from the Law Director authorizing Chief Sprout to enter into an MOU with the Lucas County Children's Services. Under F, a recommendation from the Law Director authorizing the mayor to enter into amended agreement for the establishment of a regional combined health district for the administration of health and environmental services with the geographical jurisdiction of Lucas County, Ohio. Under G, a recommendation from the Finance Committee, pending review of actual contract, authorize the mayor or designee to enter an agreement with Ferguson Waterworks for water meters, installation, and software training, an amount of $3,588,447.14, without formal bidding or advertising as a sole source contract, as council has determined that formal competitive bidding is not practical or in the best interest of Maumee. H is a recommendation from the police chief to authorize the purchase of 2 new fully equipped police vehicles in the amount of $146,954 to maintain operational readiness. Under I, a recommendation from the Public Information Committee to approve a new city website changeover to Civic Plus in the amount of $35,538.76 to include full functionality of the citizen reporting module, or $30,500 for the starter package and streaming, and authorize the mayor to enter into agreement with Civic Plus for their services. And this is actually cheaper than what we currently are paying now for our website.
Correct, yes.
And a better product. So thank you for the work on that. J, recommendation from the Finance Director declaring the Ford Field playground equipment as surplus and authorize the disposal. That's obviously not resellable, I suppose. That's,
Right, it's scrap.
yeah, scrap. Under K, recommendation from the mayor to approve the appointment of Katie Petit and Christy Kagi to the Design Review Board beginning January 26 for a 3-year term. L is a recommendation from the mayor authorizing the clerk of court to enter into a renewal agreement with Norris, Northwest Ohio Regional Information System through the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in the amount of $43,950 for implementation of Norris software and application, and that's a renewal contract there. So that completes the consent calendar. Any further discussion, comments,
I-
council?
Can I ask for clarification? So it says pending review for G, and it mentions the December 1st. Is that not needed? We got the contract, we're able to review, so this is the,
Now we're working on a formal agreement.
Okay.
With this.
so will this be passing it then? It's just giving,
It authorizes the mayor to enter into an agreement, but like I said, once we have a
the
formal
formal
contract.
review, then you'll be able to enter it?
Right.
Okay, that's what that, okay, thank you.
Okay, anything further?
I have a question
Yes.
about the website. There are 2 options there. Did we need to make a decision on that, or would that be done administratively?
I think I talked to Nancy earlier, and she indicated that the $30,500 option would be acceptable. You did? Oh, okay. I missed that one. Okay.
And that's including the full see, click, fix, like the 311 thing for the residents to be able to report. Thank you very much.
Okay, all good questions. Anything further?
Just one quick, I know we had some people coming up on their terms for the design review board. When other boards come up, is there a way, do they just email somebody, the clerk or someone, if they have interest in that?
Yeah, these 2 had given me early on that if there was a vacancy, they wanted to be considered. But what I'll do is I'll put out to council what we're looking at after the first of the year, and if you have input on that, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Yep,
I have a list of coming up.
okay.
The term.
Casey will get it out to everybody about what's coming, or terms that are up.
Sure, thank you.
Yep. Was there anything further? We'll call the roll.
Poffenberger,
Yes.
Zis,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Fiskus,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Linebach.
Yes.
Under new business, A is a recommendation from the Finance Committee to approve ordinance 30-2025. It's amending 103, or Chapter 103 in ordinance 26-2023 of the Maumee Codified Ordinance, updating the requirements for contracts within the city of Maumee. This is a 3rd reading.
And this would be to incorporate the motion that was approved earlier to strike the.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is for just the one that was already in the packet for the previous readings?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there was
No.
an adjustment.
No, there was an adjustment of some of the language,
Just
so
minus that, okay.
without the.
Just the new sentence from today would be stricken.
You clear? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, all right. Take a motion to approve this, please.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 30-2025, an ordinance amending Chapter 103 and ordinance number 26-2023 of the Maumee Codified Ordinances, updating the requirements for contracts within the city of Maumee.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, thank you. We'll call the roll.
Poffenberger,
Yes.
Zis,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Fiskus.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Linebach.
Yes.
Thank you. That's approved. 10B is recommendation from the law director to approve ordinance 31-2025, an ordinance repealing ordinance 39-2021, titled an ordinance to grant expedited authority for the solicitation and awarding of contracts. This is a 3rd reading as well. Need a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve ordinance 031-2025, an ordinance repealing ordinance 39-2021, titled an ordinance to grant expedited authority for the solicitation and awarding of contracts.
I'll second that.
I'm sorry.
No.
Second by Mr. Barrow. Thank you. And we'll call the roll.
Poffenberger,
Yes.
Zis.
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Fiskus.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Linebach.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move to comments. Ms. Puffenberger.
I'd like to congratulate cross country, even though they all left. on the season. It was a lot of fun to watch them run, especially Tegan. She was all out, full go the whole time. It's pretty impressive to see someone run those times. And I hope everyone has a nice holiday, end of the month, and hopefully see you guys at the Holiday Lights Parade.
Thank you. Ms. Ziss?
I also wanted to congratulate the Maumee girls cross country. I did run cross country and was super terrible at it. So I have a lot of respect for anybody who can do that and do it well. Secondly, I would like to say I love seeing a full house here in council chambers. It always makes me happy to see that people are paying attention, which is great. And other than that, I would just say stay tuned. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you back here as time goes on.
Thank you. Mr. Barrow?
Thank you, Mayor McDonald. I'm excited about the website. Without the mere newspaper now putting our meetings out and a lot what goes happen on the city, we're really going to miss them. I mean, the entire city's going to. The sports events they used to do, all the fundraisers they used to put out there, all the help they'd help with the community. But glad our website's getting improved, and it seems to be always a topic as far as I've been, as long as I've been on council. And I'm with Chelsea on this. I did cross country, and I was no good at it. But this guy took me under his wing, and he said, Barrow, you're never going to be any good, but I will show you how to dog and look good. So I appreciated that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fiskus?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We passed the street closing, but I wanted to remind everyone, sign up for the Holiday Hustle. It's a fun race. Speaking of running, we all love to run. There's about 150 sign up when I looked earlier today, and it all goes towards the senior center. Also wanted to give a little early heads up. December 13th at 11 a.m. is Wreaths Across America. That's always a great event. Starts at the Rotary Pavilion at Side Cut. They do a little dedication and then split off to the two cemeteries in Maumee to place wreaths on all of the veterans' grave sites. And I don't normally do personal stuff, but I know he's watching at home, so I wanted to wish my son Graham a happy 7th birthday. Thank you.
We could sing happy birthday.
No, we're not.
Thank you. Mr. Harris?
I ran cross country, but I was also one of the slower ones, 14 minutes for 2 miles. So that's very impressive what she can run. And I remember in the Navy, too, we had to qualify. I think I barely qualified with those times. But I did have the privilege on Veterans Day to meet with a lot of the local veterans around here, sit and have, a nice meal with them. I also was invited to speak in front of a Boy Scout troop that evening and discuss Veterans Day and then even the electoral process and how that works. So that was pretty fun. They always have a lot of good questions at Scouts. Usually it's, are you 80?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Wow. And I ended up spending the other week, we stopped out at the Bunker meeting out in, for the Monclova Town Hall. Very passionate group of people there, loved it. I can tell you personally, I would not support a data center here. But I know that we do need to look into some of the legalities in order just to throw a moratorium up. We need to make sure that we follow some of the legalities before we can move forward with that. But I do appreciate your comments on that. And I think I remember seeing you there. So, and other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday and Thanksgiving, and we will see you at our next meeting. Bye.
Thank you. Mr. Kurt?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was in high school so long ago, they hadn't invented cross-country yet. And I probably would not have done it anyway. I thought it was kind of, with apologies to Chelsea and the rest of you, kind of running that long and that far was not my thing in high school. Concerning concerning cross-country, I wish to recognize and congratulate the Harriers from the women's cross-country team at Maumee High School. And I have I've received a number of emails from citizens concerning the data center. I haven't responded to them yet. I'm still trying to get some information together. I don't know if Kathy Goins is here, or Dennis Dew, did I see you earlier? Lori Heinschel, Lynn, you spoke. I don't know if I'm in favor of it or not. I do know, I checked them out, I do know that in order to open the front doors on a data center, there must precede that a period of, not a period of due diligence, but a big checklist of due diligence that has to take place. That takes at least a year, probably longer. Legal, environmental, neighborhood, all sorts of stuff. So I don't think we need at this point to put a moratorium on it. I think we ought to at least, I don't even know if we're doing this, but if it's something we're thinking about, at least start the due diligence, and citizens can appear at that and comment and so forth, and following which a decision will be made. So I think that is the extent of what I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Leinbach?
I'm not going to share what my high school sports were, but if you're interested, I'll talk to you afterwards. Second item, data centers as well. I mentioned this at a previous council meeting where data centers, in my view, they're not an unqualified bad thing. Okay, all of us who use the internet are using data centers. People who want to use more AI need data centers. But it can't just be a local issue, okay? State and the federal government needs to be involved, and I do agree, we would need to proceed very carefully, because we would not want to do something that would create harms for our residents. Things like, higher electric utility rates, issues with the water. There's aesthetic issues. Even Mayor Carr, I understand, weighed in on social media. My wife showed me a post that he made, brought in the issue about the proximity to the Fallen Timbers battlefield, which is a National Historic Site. So there's a lot of factors to be considered, and I think we should have some sort of mechanism, whether it's a committee of the whole meeting, just to listen to citizens, because I think most of the emails that I've received have been from Monclova residents. Don't want to discount that, but this is Maumee, a chance for our residents to weigh in, see what people are thinking, so we can make an informed decision, going forward. But I agree with the statement. There's a lot of questions that need answers. So, and the last thing is find something to be thankful for at Thanksgiving, and let those people know.
And just to piggyback briefly on what Mr. Leinbach said, we all are aware of what the cloud is. We go on our phones and our computer, you send stuff to the cloud and so forth. It's not a cloud up there. It's a data center here or in Tokyo or Berlin. It's just a bunch of bricks and mortar buildings. So I'm not saying that to in favor or opposed to data centers, but that's what the cloud is. It's just a bunch of computers and a bunch of buildings that do what we needed to do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I did have the opportunity to go to the Port Authority biannual report. Every 2 years, they give their annual report. It was down at it was downtown, the Imagination Station, actually. And I was very impressed in knowing how much the Port Authority, the influence they have in economic development in Northwest Ohio. A lot of people think the Port Authority is the airport, and that is just a very, very small piece of it. Our shipping industry in Ohio or in Toledo actually, was one of the premier places on the Great Lakes that started, and still is. It's very busy down there. We have a lot of lake freighters that come in and out of downtown Toledo. In running cruise boats down there, I see it during the summer. They come in and out multiple times a week, loading up Anderson's grain, iron ore, soybeans, red beans, a lot of things, the food products that are coming from Indiana and Ohio that come into Anderson's down there by the mural, and ships load up by the millions and millions of tons of food products that are coming out of Ohio and Indiana that go as far away as Europe, Canada. And the iron ore business has been in place in Toledo since the Edmund Fitzgerald. In fact, when the Edmund Fitzgerald sank, it was on its way to Toledo to drop off iron ore pellets that were mined out of northern Wisconsin. And it gets dropped off down by Cleveland, the new Cleveland Cliffs plant, and that iron ore is basically purified into pellets, which they use to feed steel mills and furnaces. So the Port Authority has a lot of influence in keeping that economic engine going in this part of the state, pumping money into a lot of things along the riverbank, and not only the airport, but the shipping lanes as well, and the PACE program, where they're offering money to businesses that are willing to upgrade and improve environmentally their business, which we just approved a month or so ago to one of our local businesses here. The Port Authority is a very forward-thinking, very fast-paced economic engine that works for the benefit of all of the economy in Northwest Ohio. And it's a taxing district, right? So they are levy-supported. You vote for levies to support the Port Authority. It's a special district. It's a taxing authority. They are spending that money wisely, and every dime that goes into that, we're getting back tenfold in the economy. So it's got a really good board, and they're very forward-thinking. I appreciate all that they do. And I would like to just ask anybody that if you want to enjoy the holidays and kick it off, the Holiday Lights Parade is a great way to do it. Ms. Ziss is going to be there with the select choir, and we'll enjoy some nice hymns, Chelsea.
Our old washed-up alumni choir will be there.
But Thanksgiving is a time that we can reflect, and we are thankful for all that we have here in Maumee and in our families. And so enjoy the holidays. And we will take a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn to the next scheduled meeting.
Second.
Second, thank you. And call the roll.
Poffenberger.
Yes.
Ziss.
Yes.
Barrow. Yes. Viscus.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Kurt.
Yes.
Linebacker.
Yes.
Thank you. We're adjourned.